Hey everyone, welcome back to this exciting series of videos in which if your name is John Green, author of best-selling novel The Fault in Our Stars, please don't watch. Seriously, stop. Right now. Thank you. Now this video is about the specifics of the Signatures for John Green project. And yes, I did change my shirt. Why? I don't know. Maybe just to differentiate the videos. You know, let's go with that. I changed my shirt to differentiate the videos. Also, sorry about the length of this video. We, the planning committee, just have a lot to say and need to get it all out there in an easy to access forum. I do promise I will try to make this as enjoyable as possible. All of you should try as hard as you can to make it to a Nerdfighter gathering in September when all the pages will be signed for the Signatures for John Green book. The pages themselves will look like this. At least that's how they look before they come to me and get bound and put into a book and folded and such. The actual times, places, and events of the Nerdfighter gatherings is up to whoever plans the events themselves. And the events themselves will be planned on the Signatures for John Green forum, which, if you aren't already a member of, the link is down there, where my pants should be. When you join the forum, you'll have to post first the introduction section, and then you can post anywhere else in the forum. We're sorry for the inconvenience, but by doing this, we don't get as many spam bots. On the forum, there's one section that you'll especially have to pay attention to, the regional planning section. In this part of the forum, you will find the different countries and states and cities that make up the entire project, and then on your particular region section, you can plan the events for your city, state, country. If nothing has been set up for your city or area, please, I encourage you, set up your own event. If you don't do it, someone else might not. So be proactive, go out, achieve things, be awesome. Once an event has been made on the forum, please go and make a Facebook event and invite people to it in your area on Facebook. Also, please post the event in the 150,000 signatures group on Facebook. If you have no idea what group I'm talking about, there's a link down where my pants should be. Now, as for what's going to actually happen at the meets, there's basically going to be one thing that has to happen, and that is going to be the signatures being placed upon all the pages that look like this. Yes, this. It's gorgeous, isn't it? We spent lots of time actually deciding how this should look. Believe it or not, there are many decisions that go into these things. All of these pages are double-sided so that when you actually put them in the book, they look like this. Like actual pages, front and back. Ta-da. I don't know why I'm going like this so many times. Maybe it will become a bird or a paper airplane. Maybe it'll fold itself up into a paper airplane. Apparently not. There are a couple of links down where my pants should be that have the PDF files of the page layout. Now, these pages need to be printed off double-sided, and that's going to be something that the representative who is bringing the paper to the Nerdfighter meeting needs to do and print off. Depending on your region, you're going to either need to print off the A4 international sized paper, which is what I will have it labeled as down where my pants should be, as A4 international. That is for people who are using A4 sized paper. If you know what that is, then that's probably what you want to use. It is not what we use in America, Canada, and Mexico. That is what I have here, which is 8.5 by 11 inches paper, which is not what the measurements are for A4 paper. If you try printing off the A4 sheet in America, this is what happens. You end up with a gap here and here, which is not what we want. We want it much closer to the edge, like this. There's also a different link that will have the format for a 8.5 by 11 formatted PDF paper thing. Yeah, that came out very clearly, but we're going to go with that as the actual sentence that I'm going to use in the video. Just make sure that you print out the version of the sheet that is most appropriate for what is going to happen. Make sure that you print off the version of the sheet that is most appropriate for where you live. Whether you use A4 size paper or 8.5 by 11 letter size paper. The rep will also need to print off this sheet, the signature information sheet. This sheet is basically what needs to be returned to us, as well as all of the pages that are signed at the events. This is not the final version of the signature information sheet / return sheet. This will also have the address that this needs to be sent to, as well as a checkbox thing right about here as to whether or not the documents have been loaded into have been saved as PDF files and emailed to our email, dftbasignatures@yahoo.com. 12 signatures on the entire sheet of paper. Now, this doesn't mean 12 signatures per box on the paper. We mean like 3, 3, 3, and a box for doodles. This is definitely an interesting way to orient my arm. But if there are only 12 signatures on the entire piece of paper, please, we do encourage doodles because they're fun. They lighten up the project instead of just being literally however many signatures we get. Now, as for what we should use when actually signing the pages, just use a normal pen. Please. Normal pen. And by normal, I mean ballpoint pen. Or a pen that is not going to have any chance of bleeding through the page. Seriously. I'm very, very fond of a particular type of pen that I do actually have in my pocket right now. Here. Yes, that did come from the area down here, where my pants should be. Probably because they came from my pants. These Pilot G pens are my favorite type of pens, but I won't be using these on the actual project when I sign my name because they bleed through pages sometimes. And when I say just use pens, I mean literally just use pens. Not pencils, because they smudge and they also fade, or crayons because they get hot and sticky and then they melt all together and the pages don't come apart and then they stain the pages and it just looks awful. Highlighters you can't read and they also tend to bleed through on occasion. And Sharpies obviously bleed through. Don't use Sharpies at all. None. Zip. Zilch. Zero. Nyet. Shout out to Rowena Lovegood 21 on the forum. Why? Because I'm writing you a message right now as I'm recording this video, because I needed to check something on the forum before I continued videotaping. Keinen Bleistift, sondern einen nicht blutenden Kuli. Blutenden. Keinen Bleistift, sondern keinen Bleistift, sondern einen nicht keinen Bleistift, sondern einen nicht blutenden Kuli. Okay, I think I finally got that. It's German for not a pencil, but a non-bleeding pen. Now, if your meat uses anything that isn't a specified writing utensil, meaning a non-bleeding pen, I will send something after you, like a horde of Pikachus. See, I actually have a horde of Pikachus, and they're rather soft. The Pikachu also turns into a Pokeball. It's pretty cool. See? And back again. Please, when you're signing, don't put anything like your phone number or your personal address, because we're going to put it on the internet as PDFs. Now, speaking of PDFs, see that segue there? It's pretty awesome. Whoever collects the pages can please scan the pages and put them as PDFs on their computer and then send them to the email that I listed earlier, dftbasignatures@yahoo.com. Please, 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 please! Why am I asking that you please do this? Is because that we want to be able to put this up on the internet as something that not only John Green will actually be able to look at, but all of Nerdfighteria will be able to look at it at some point. Also, if you don't scan it in, that means I personally will have to scan in every single page that you don't. If we get 1,000 pages here and none of them are scanned in, that means I will have to scan every page, and that's 2,000 scans in a time that I really don't want to be scanning in that many pages. Do remember, I'm starting my freshman year of college soon. I don't have time to scan in 2,000 pages. I have things I need to do, like schoolwork. Also, if you scan them in, then it's not going to be a problem if the pages get lost in the mail. If they do, we can just use the scanned in versions of the documents instead of you guys having to meet back up and sign the pages again. This is pretty much the last point of my video, so bear with me, it's getting close to the end. Like, this close. What scale this is in, I don't know, but it's this close. Anyone who misses or cannot attend their local Nerdfighter meeting will have 2 options. That's it. 2. Number 1. If there's a large distance in between all the Nerdfighters in your region, you might just have to mail around some pages and assign them as they come to each person in the mail. I know Brazil and parts of Latin America already have this set up, so just remember that you guys rock at being proactive. Number 2. This is a last resort. If you guys can't meet, or if there just isn't going to be enough to get about 12 people on a signature paper by just mailing it, you can sign a blank piece of paper. I realize this is actually just the back of this, but pretend it's blank. Sign a blank piece of paper, scan it in, and then upload the document to the internet and email it to that email that I've repeated several times with this video, dftbasignatures@yahoo.com. That email will also be down where my pants should be, you know, down there. These signatures that we get digitally will then be compiled onto one of these on a computer and then printed off and put into the book. Almost last, but not least, to make sure that signing these pages is not the only thing that you do at these meets, make sure you have fun. Do something like play Quidditch or talk about the new Kickstarter Nerdfighter Evil Baby Orphanage card game that's coming out. There's a link here or a picture. I haven't decided which I'm going to put yet. Just make sure that you have fun and enjoy seeing other Nerdfighters. So, thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen just by me and my crazy antics, you can watch more of me here at this link, right here where my hands are generally. It's a new video blog series between me and my friend, uploading the first episode of our new vlog right now. Not right now the second when I'm talking, but right now at the same time that I've uploaded this video that I'm currently in. There's also a link to our video blog down there. It's called Two Distant Friends, by the way, because there's a friend of mine and we're 2 friends who are, you know, far apart. Yeah. So hence the distance thing. For all of you who are still watching for some reason, don't forget to be awesome.